get over to this main tub. Hello, welcome. How is everybody doing? How are you? One thing I don't know how to do yet is figure out where in the holy heck Atoli some of this stuff is. But we want to welcome you. We want to welcome you if you are on Slack. We want to welcome you if you are on Instagram. We want to welcome you if you are on YouTube. We want to welcome you if you are on Twitch. Can I get a Twitch? And one thing I'm curious about is why no Substack right now. How do I check in on that? How do I check in on that? Multi-stream. Hello, yeah. Anyway, good morning. We have one viewer so far. Hello, one viewer. Why does it not come up? Hello, one viewer. Why does it not come up in my Twitch stream now? What do I have to do? Refresh? Oh, brother, oh, brother. Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother. Well, good morning. Welcome to you. Yes, and I can't even see what your name is. And welcome in everybody who's on Slack. Okay, we're starting to dial it in. If you're on Instagram, holy crap, we're on Instagram today. Who even knew? Let's get started in the chat. Let's get going. Hello. Does that show up on the screen? It sure does. That's great. We're having fun with that. Okay, cool. And it went to 9 million places. We did not got to get rid of that as a thing. Okay, well, welcome to the tub. You are here with your friend, Rev Deuce. We are going to read the news with Deuce. And we are also going to do so many other fun things today. And it's going to be incroyable, as the French say. We're having a great time. We're linking scenes. We're doing everything. So if you are in those chats, let me know, please. I would love to know if you are in the chat. What a world it is. What a world it is. And what's been going on in the world has been nutso-butso. We've got multiple constitutional crises. We are in the midst of an administrative coup. In case you didn't know. So if you are here, get in that chat. Let me know you're here. I'd love to talk to you. We're going to go through the news here. And we've got a nice menu now that's in fluorescent pink. And that's exciting. And so we're just so excited to have you here. And if you can hear me fine, I'd love to hear from the chat if you can hear me just fine. And now I want to show you two things that I made because I'm excited. Check this out. This program, as always, is brought to you by about your choices if you're a MAGA person. And that's no, you don't need to be scared. You don't need to be scared. Okay. Let's see what happens when we type into the chat. Type. And then if we go somewhere else. It's there. Perfect. All right, well, it's time to read the news with Deuce. Welcome to everybody around the world who's beaming into the tub where it's always 69 here in Boca Raton, Florida. Okay, that's where we pretend that we are. We pretend that we're in Boca Raton, Florida. Welcome in. I love you. You love me. We are an intergalactic family. So you see the menu over there. Let's get started. If you'd like to call in, we'd love to talk to you. So here we go. Let's see what's in the news, shall we? Let's see. Palantir is in the news. Palantir, this is the kind of news that you don't always get, and that's the kind that you want the most, I think. That's what they tell me anyway. Let's get rid of all these stream keys and stuff. Get that out of here, you guys. Okay. Close that. And now let's check out what I just loaded into the machine here. Here we go. Check this out. This is not cool stuff. What's cooler than being cool? Being cool instead of not cool. You know what I mean? And welcome into the Substack and all the chats. Are we even live on Instagram? We don't even know, and we never will. Maybe someone could check that for us. Okay, let's take a look. So you don't have to be particularly sharp to decipher the code here, but if you need someone to say it, this is a major technology company and a sizable defense and intelligence contractor publicly declaring, with only the thinnest patina of deniability, that its cause is white nationalism. And why this is especially scary is because, do we know what Alex Karp said not too long ago? Do we even know? We got to get this multi-chat off of this thing. We'll just keep that for the Instagram people, if they even are alive. But so, does anybody know what's going on here? Okay. Look at this. Look at this. This is, Palantir is advertising this at different colleges. Okay, let me zoomski loomski even more. All right. A moment of reckoning has arrived for the West. Our culture has fallen into shallow consumerism while abandoning national purpose. Too few in Silicon Valley have asked what that ought to be built and why. We built Palantir to ensure America's future, not to tinker at the margins. On the factory floor and the operating rooms across the battlefield, we build to dominate. This is like recruiting from like the Edward Corresteins of the world. You know what I mean? This is not a cool thing. This is, in fact, very scary. So let me know how you feel about that in the chat. I would love to know. This is kind of wild. Let's look up Alex Karp. Oh, that's gross. I sold my Tesla shares, Grayson. Not trying to say I'm better than you. But I am better than you. Okay, Palantir's billionaire CEO just can't stop talking about killing people. Has everyone seen this? Sorry, Grayson, might be time to sell your shares. Have you seen this? Are they going to play it? What is it? Video? I need video. Here we go. Sorry, we're going to X. I apologize, but sometimes the people need to know. You know what I mean? Listen to this. Is insane.
We're doing it. We're doing it. And I'm sure you're enjoying this as much as I am. Let's not talk to analysts about the burden of being right, our burdens of investing in ontology, our burdens of actually looking at the math, the burden of reading what the Rule of 40 is, the burden of being honest about what an enterprise software company is, or the burden of explaining to your friends that you're really happy. Maybe we should just stop talking about it. I'm very happy to have you along for the journey, and you are partners for us. Every Palantirian, we are crushing it. Everyone else who's listening, we are dedicating our company. We have dedicated our company to the service of the West and the United States of America, and we're super proud of the role we play, especially in places we can't talk about. And we love our success in the U.S. and globally. Also, we are doing in the United Kingdom and many other places. Palantir is here to disrupt and make the institutions we partner with the very best in the world, and when it's necessary, to scare enemies and on occasion kill them. And we hope you're in favor of that. We hope you're enjoying being a partner, and we're really happy and very, very focused on what we're doing. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
What an insane thing to say. I mean, let's watch that part again. Like
the institutions we partner with, the very
weirdo.
best in the world, and when it's necessary, to scare enemies and on occasion kill them. 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 And we hope you're in favor of that.
We hope you're in favor of killing people. Hey, this is me, CEO of Palantir. We hope you're in favor of killing people. Would you be so kind as to buy another share of our stock so that we could use it to kill people? Yes, and thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You know what I mean? That's what's going on. That is so bizarre and wackadoodle from this dude. Now, are you here on Instagram? Elvira, we are reading the news with Deuce. Okay, that's what we're doing. We're so happy to see you and have you here. We love you. So if you have anything to say, we'd love to hear it. We were just watching Alex Karp, the CEO of Palantir, after we showed this bizarre Palantir recruitment thing. Gotta close X because it really drains your resources. Now, where did it go? Jeez Louise. Well, we really zoomed in, didn't we? Anyway, let's keep going through the news, reading the news with Deuce. It's the best fun anybody's ever had, so let's keep going. Let's go next to this one. This person wrote about fascist accusations of corruption. Let me just... Okay, wrote about fascist accusations of corruption, which are always in bad faith and always just mean the wrong people are in charge. So this is from Public Notice, which is Aaron Rupar's outfit. And this says, Twitch is owned by Amazon. Sure, I know, Grayson. Yeah, I know. There's no such thing as a moral choice in capitalism, as they say. But, you know, I don't know. I mean, I'm not rooting for Twitch or Jeff Bezos or Amazon or anybody, but just showing you, you know, that's whataboutism, Grayson. Your whataboutism is your whatabouting Reb Deuce here, and we love you for it. So the devious purpose behind MAGA's incessant lying, I thought that this would be helpful for me in talking to MAGA folks, so let's see if it is. Creating a fog of confusion is a feature, not a bug. Earlier this month, J.D. Vance claimed on Fox News that 40% of people are calling the Social Security hotline are actually committing fraud. That's an insane thing to say. This is a completely discredited lie, and it's impossible to believe that Vance doesn't know better. In fact, he admitted not so long ago that he likes to create stories so that the American media actually pays attention. In other words, he thinks false propaganda is a good way to advance his reactionary agenda. More, Vance's Social Security balderdash is a lie with a long history. The right has for close to 150 years used charges of fraud and corruption to target social programs and disfavored groups. These lies are effective because they leverage anti-government sentiment and prejudice. They also work because opposition politicians struggle to recognize and call out fascist bad faith. If Democrats are going to defend Social Security, the social safety net, and even cancer research, though, we need to get accustomed to saying unequivocally that lies are lies and comfortable recognizing them as deliberate efforts to confuse people. I'm dropping frames. Wait, I'm dropping frames? How's it going? How's this broadcast going, everybody? Not so great or great? Huh. Grayson, how's the broadcast going? Could you tell me, bud? Dropping frames. Am I pushing? What am I doing? Am I playing too hard out here with my friends on the internet? Says I'm going to 5 different places. That sounds fun. You're good. Okay, we're good. The MAGA war on fraud. Vance is hardly alone in his fraudulent attacks on fraud in the Social Security program. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, who's been just a jerk, for example, made the outrageous claim recently that anyone who called Social Security to complain about a failure to receive a check should be suspected to be a fraudster. Trump's billionaire Nazi saluting co-president Elon Musk called Social Security a Ponzi scheme. Okay. All right, are we checking in on this? Do we understand what's going on? Let's get to what did Don Moynihan say? Pamela Hurd and Don Moynihan explained there are many other ways that the administration... Hey, Lilith. Greetings, ja. What happened to that one? To make Social Security less effective and less accessible, staffing cuts have already caused chaos and website crashes. Other proposed policies, such as requiring work-authorized non-citizens to visit field offices, will further overwhelm the system, nor is Social Security the only program that is going to suffer. Let's see what she's pretending is fraud. And sorry, I'm sharing disinformation directly into your dome pieces.
Fraud, or are they waste, or are they just contrary to the president's policies?
I would argue that all of these things are fraudulent, they are wasteful, and they are an abuse of the American taxpayer's dollar. This is not what the government should be spending money on. It's contrary to the president's priorities and agenda. And again, we can continue to provide you the receipts for all of the fraud, waste, and abuse. And if anybody in here wants to argue that the federal government is not fraudulent in some capacity, be my guest, because I think the American people watching at home would beg to differ. Caroline. Happy to provide this.
That doesn't make any sense. So she's the press secretary for the United States, and, she's lying. And so, I mean, I guess it does make sense because that's what they do. But that's kind of wild. That's some wild stuff. This is the kind of commentary you get when Deuce is up until 3:30 making amazing graphics like this. Oh, again, just so everyone remembers, this show is brought to you by... Fun today in the tub. Now let's go through the news a little bit more. So this article, Fascism and Corruption, calling out the lies. Let's read this section. Look at this history. And at the rank corruption, looking at this history of the rank corruption of Trump in office, it's very clear how much projection there is in the MAGA charges of waste, fraud, and abuse. Yet Democrats have struggled to reject the administration's lies forcefully and consistently. For example, when Doge was first proposed before Trump's inauguration, Bernie Sanders claimed Elon Musk is right about waste and corruption, then suggested Musk should target the Pentagon for budget cuts. Musk was never going to target the Pentagon for budget cuts. Florida Rep. Jared Moskowitz and other House Democrats also initially expressed interest in working with Doge to cut spending and fraud. But as the full extent of the Doge assault on the social safety net, the Constitution, and on Congress's spending authority became clear, Democrats backed off their Musk-curious approach. Sanders has attacked Musk ferociously. Why am I dropping frame? Ferociously. Moskowitz has been engaged in a good bit of backpedaling. It's good that Democrats eventually recognized Doge for what it is, but swallowing the bait was unwise. It gave Musk unnecessary legitimacy and credibility. Democrats don't need to pretend that Trump world's purported concern with corruption is in good faith. That's true. There's a little less teeth to this article than we wanted, but we didn't read the whole thing. Okay, don't be like Deuce. Read the whole article before sharing it online. That's right. You must do that. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Come on in. Get in here. We are reading the news with Deuce. Of course, there are other things that we could do together. Let's take a look at them. Maggie, we want to know who says to cheer, right? Because 99% of all the information we consume in this world is told to us by other people, strangers usually, stranger danger. So why do we trust the people who tell us messages about the world? And are we plugged into a propaganda ecosystem, or like the propaganda ecosystem tells you, or by watching mainstream journalism that is rooted in fact, however flawed, are you listening to propaganda? So let's talk about that. Read the news with Deuce. That's what we're doing. Assess your media diet. I'd love you to call into the show and tell me about your media diet and tell me if it kicks ass, if it's information tight, or if it's information light. And then we can improvise a song. Of course, we can talk about our fears, because that's what we do here. That's what the Megachurch of Joy is founded upon. And then we also will debunk disinfo. So great. We're going to continue reading the news with Deuce. Deuce put out a new video yesterday. We're so excited for that video. It's going to change the world, and it is debunking the idea that AOC is worth $29 million, because she is not. Now, let's get active in that chat. Chatting helps me. And also, give me all your money at that Cash App that appeared on the screen and that Venmo that appeared on the screen. That's right, I am grifting you every single second of every day, but at least I'm honest about it. How authoritarian regimes use the fire hose of falsehood and why it works. By Brian Dunning-Kruger. He writes, he podcasts, he makes movies about the difference between reality and bullshit. Interesting. What is that movie? What movies has he made? Hitler called it the big lie. For Putin, it's the fire hose of falsehood. Steve Bannon calls it flood the zone with shit. And that's why we flood the zone with facts. Am I right, fact warriors? I believe the name for today's show is wrong. Damn it. And I don't know how to change that. Edit your stream title and description. I can. Oh, it is the 15th, baby. Boom. Couldn't confirm TikTok live access. Wait, what? Ugh. Ugza Toli Khomeini, do you know what I mean? Hey, everybody. So, how authoritarian regimes use the fire hose of falsehoods and why it works. So, here we go. Let's check this out really quick. Let's read Hitler's words. Can I say that across these apps? Let's just say it. This is from Mein Kampf Volume 1. In the big lie, there is always a certain force of credibility, and thus in the primitive simplicity of their minds, they more readily fall victims to the big lie than the small lie, since they themselves often tell small lies in little matters, but would be ashamed to resort to large-scale falsehoods. It would never come into their heads to fabricate colossal untruths, and they would not believe that others could have the impudence to distort the truth so infamously. For the grossly impudent lie always leaves traces behind it, even after it has been nailed down, a fact which is known to all expert liars in this world and to all who conspire into the art of lying. These people know only too well how to use falsehood for the basest purposes. If you are here in the Substack, we would love to hear from you. We'd love to hear about your life. We'd love to hear about your inadequacies. We'd love to hear if you're feeling like you're not good enough. We'd love to support you. We would love to understand your world and your life and listen to you and reach out across to you and hear your ideas. That is another thing that we do in the tub. We love you and we support you and we listen to your fears. And so do you have a fear? And when we speak our fears out loud, we say, these are my fears and I embrace them. We learn to follow the fear off the sidelines of life and onto the stage of life, where we can experience joy in the face of fear, where we can understand that we can push back against fear's patterns, overcome them, overcome him and his power that is keeping us from doing the thing, from living and us speaking according to our authentic selves, and we can find joy. Yes, and. So let's keep going through the news. By the way, if you are here, get active in the chat. We love if you are active in the chat. So Hitler employed this technique as well, yet Hitler's big lie worked. In 2016, the Rand Corporation, having observed Russia's post-Cold War propaganda technique, dubbed it the fire hose of falsehood. It's high volume and multi-channel. It's rapid, continuous, and repetitive. It lacks commitment to objective reality. It lacks commitment to consistency. We love getting spammed by Twitch in the chat. It lacks commitment. Now, what's with these drop frames, man? Open performance window. Minor issue. Yet as effective as certain world leaders have found an endless stream of lies to be, one wonders why they are effective. If someone lies constantly, wouldn't most people tune them out and turn instead to a reliable source? Yes and no. Yes, they tune out, but no, they don't go elsewhere. The firehood of falsehood leads to information fatigue. People are so overwhelmed, they just disengage. If they remember anything, it's the lie they heard most often. This is the illusory truth effect. Repetition makes false claims feel true. This is great. This is a great resource for the old Deuce. Incidentally, Steve Bannon named for Hitler and Putin's name for it is flood the zone with shit. All we have to do is flood the zone. Every day we hit them with 3 things. They'll bite on one and we'll get all of our stuff done. Bang, bang, bang. These guys will never be able to recover, but we've got to start with muzzle velocity. Terrible. So we enjoyed this rumination by this guy, Brian, on disinformation. He talks about the Gish Galah. Welcome into the show today. We are reading the news with Deuce. We are checking out what's happening in the world in real time with our friends and our loved ones. That's what we are doing. So welcome in, and we love you. Are you feeling like you need to be supported today? Because we will support you. Tell us what your problems are, and we will support you and tell you that you are loved. Kelly, do you need to hear that you are loved today? Trump downplays latest deadly attack on Ukrainian civilians. So this is more about like not just lying, but this is more of the dishonesty. Like, you know, MAGA, we just want to understand when it will be Trump's war. Will it be 2028 and it's still not Trump's war? We're curious. When does he have responsibility for anything? He has never taken responsibility for anything.
I think the whole war is a horrible thing. They made a mistake. I believe it was. Look, you're going to ask them. This is Biden's war. This is not my war.
I mean, come on. Look, you're watching Newsmax, first of all, a entertainment channel that has been created to propagandize you and manipulate you and change your mind. Has it changed your mind? Let's talk about it. Lilith Rose says, that's why you always get your talking points organized and never stray from them. So, Lilith, you're just talking in the general sense. Anyone who wants to communicate to the public, is that what you were saying? Please let us understand what you are saying. So, President Donald Trump ordered the investigations of two of his first-term officials who publicly refuted his baseless claims that the 2020 election was fraudulent and criticized his chaotic administration from within. That's interesting. Is Democracy Docket starting to try to like up their headline game? Because that's interesting. To be a little more sensational in this time, does Democracy Docket need funds? Democracy Docket is a great organization. We're not saying anything about that. But Trump orders a probe. So this guy right here was in charge of elections. He was like he was in the Department of Homeland Security. I believe his name might be Chris Krebs. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. Do you know you're very smart? My audience is so smart and they're beautiful. And you have, you know, I realized I used to do a thing in this space. I used to play a game called You Are a Rock Star, you know? And then I was watching Severance, and I'm not going to ruin anything for those who haven't seen it, but I was watching Severance and it's like they say you are good at determining a good rock from a bad rock. And that's like the kind of thing that I used to do. And maybe they tuned in. Maybe they know Rev Deuce. Okay, so we are talking about information here. If you have a piece of information or a piece of news that you would like to be investigated live on air, we can do that. Another thing we like to do is to debunk things. Okay, and so Rev Deuce put together a little video to debunk something. All right, so let's watch that video now. Okay, because you need to be a fact warrior every time you are online. So you need to go and you need to share videos that are from fact-based influencers. So this is a video Deuce made.
How much her net worth has grown within the past 4-ish years. It's freaking crazy.
Have you been the victim of disinformation online? Find out in the next installment of Deuce Debunks Disinformation. I'm Rev Deuce, your information nutritionist. I came across this young lady.
The leftists will never cease to amaze me because their little Lord and Savior AOC is flying first class, but she also wears a dress to the Met Gala that says eat the rich, and she always preaches eat the rich, but also you guys should check out how much her net worth has grown within the past 4-ish years. It's freaking crazy.
Okay, well, is that true? Let's check in with my fact-based influencer friend Nico.
Last week, we gave Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez an A+ for her financial integrity in Congress. But I got a lot of comments saying, how could she have financial integrity if she's worth millions and millions of dollars and only gets money from her congressional salary? People are saying she's worth a couple $1 million. I've seen a very specific figure saying she's worth $29 million. So let's dig into it. Her congressional salary is $176,000, which after taxes would be roughly $119,000 a year. Given that she's been in Congress for 6 years, that means she's taken home roughly $714,000. She doesn't own a home, meaning that she's renting back in her home district in New York and in DC. On average, this would cost over $60,000 a year, and over 6 years would cost roughly $374,000. If we also assume that she is the average non-rent expenses of a DC resident, that would be another $17,000 a year, or roughly $100,000 for her tenure in Congress. Now we have an estimate for her net worth, which is not over $1 million and is not anywhere near $29 million. In fact, our estimate is right in the range of what's been publicly reported at $237,000.
Now, so why would this young lady with just 152 followers take to the internet and spread this disinformation? Is it because 40% of people under the age of 30 get their news from influencers online? And over 60% of influencers don't fact check any of their information before they share it with their followers? Could be. Now, don't you go spreading that disinformation now. Be a fact warrior every single time you're online. Otherwise, what are you doing? Log off, read a book, call a friend, go for a walk. Hey, every 9 to 11 Eastern time. That's us right now. Now you should go there and you should repost that video because that's what we do here. Now I'm looking at the Instagram and it's saying that I'm not on Instagram Live right now. And so what the heck, man? Can anybody, do you hear me? Do you care? I wonder why we're not streaming live to Instagram. I wonder how we check on that. Are you sure you want to log out on Public Enlightenment? No. But I'll tell you what I am sure of. I would sure love to understand why it's not beaming across space and time to there. Does anybody know? Does anybody know? Do you hear me? Oh, you know what? They said that I had to be sure to go to Instagram. Now, bear with me, audience. I know we're not doing anything super fun right now, but bear with me. And then I'm going to go, oh, wait, but you can't see this. This is not for your eyes. So get that out of here. And then we go to go live. And then we go to, okay. I changed it to Fact Warriors Saving the Nation with Information. Public. Next. Okay. Copy. Interesting. Oh, no. Hold on, everybody. We're having a great time. We're just seeing if we can't just up the game here. We're seeing why we aren't live on Instagram, and then we're going to get right back to it. How to stream. Copy the stream key. Select go live once your streaming software connects and displays. Go live. Go live. Connect streaming software to go live. I have done so. I have done so. Why doesn't it work? Can someone help me? What do I do? Do I do this? This can't be right. Is this the same? What's happening? Am I now live? But this isn't what I wanted. Boo-hoo. Boo-hoo and a bottle of you, okay? So we're just going to move on from that, and we apologize for the downtime on the program today, and we love you so much. And do you want to call in? Do you want to call in and talk about your fears? That's how this show works best, you know? I don't know if anybody understands, but this show works best when people call into it. Because this show is for you and for me and our entire family. Connect streaming software to go live. Well, I friggin' did. Sorry, Rev Deuce is getting upset. Nobody likes to see Daddy upset. Nobody likes to see Daddy upset. No siree, Bob. I'll never figure it out. Okay? I will never figure it out. And now I'm paying for this thing and there's no reason to pay for it. Okay, here we go. We're still going through the news. Here we go. All right. Sorry, everybody. That was Rev Deuce is pretty sad. He doesn't understand why it doesn't work to go live, and he wants to cry a little bit. Wants to cry tears. Rev Deuce has received a text from his mother, and Rev Deuce's mother is talking about how she... So... Sorry, everybody. Okay, Rev Deuce is just getting very frustrated. And that's not my deal. I'm so sorry. Okay, so my mother texted me and she said that she did learn two new terms today, kleptocracy and thievocracy. Now, raise your hand if you know what a kleptocracy is in that chat. Do you know what a kleptocracy is? Are you a smarty pants who knows what a kleptocracy is? If you are, we would love for you to share in the chat how smart you are with everyone, because everyone deserves to know how smart you are. And now let me show those of you who are here on Substack what's going on. And we want to hear from you in the Substack chat. That's how all this stuff works. So I want to show you some tools that I've created for you. So let's go over here. Let's look in here. You see that we have a lists over here. You see right here, we got lists. Yeah. Okay. Well, check it out. You can go in and you can find fact checkers, diverse opinion, historians, legal experts, the news, media critics, political science, right? So let's check in on what the diverse opinion crew is talking about so far today. Wow, this is fascinating. 4chan was hacked. Interesting. Huh. Oliver Willis suggests that AOC will be running for office. Okay. I'd like to know more about 4chan being hacked. Carl Bode wrote about the American Rescue Plan. Carl Bode is pointing out that mainstream media, is falling for the false idea that authoritarians care about antitrust reform. Absolutely they don't. And reigning in corporate power, no friggin' way. You know what I mean? So he's calling out mainstream journalist Matt Stoller makes his money in D.C. convincing dim people that you can find common cause with fascists on antitrust reform. But that's kind of like trying to develop an intimate relationship with a running chainsaw. We love Carl Bode. He's so funny. What a funny guy. Hoping to drive billions in subsidies to Elon Musk, FCC boss Brendan Carr is trying to pretend the choice is either between Starlink or dangerous Chinese satellites, ignoring the Eutelsat OneWeb, increasingly being used as an alternative by Germany and Ukraine, exists. We're scared of Brendan Carr. He is destroying the First Amendment on behalf of Donald Trump. It is whack. It is wackadoodle. Okay, good morning. Jennifer Bendry says, today's lawyers who practice in D.C. will vote to decide if Pam Bondi's brother, Brad Bondi, should be the president of the D.C. bar. Gross. Carl Bode is calling out Mars's settlement is not happening and is part of Musk's fake innovation mythology. Absolutely. We're not going to Mars. Does anyone here believe we're going to Mars? Anyone? And if you don't believe we're going to Mars, why? Like, is it a fun distraction? Is there something fun about it as a distraction? Should we be building up Elon Musk's mythology? This is incredible. I want to read this from Defector. We're going to put this into the Discord, everybody. We have a Discord and we would love for you to join it. It is in the link tree everywhere where you find your Discords. Everywhere where Discords are sold, am I right? Now what am I doing? Here we go. Hey everybody, what's going on? We would love for you to call in and share what your sources of information are. That's a thing that we love to do. We love you so much. We want to talk to you about the news. Let's keep going through that news, shall we? We're exploring diverse opinion. This is one reason why Dems shouldn't hedge everything they say about immigration with a generic illegal immigration is a serious problem. Intro, it just feeds into Trump's framing. Pick specific bad Trump policies, there are many, and attack. Okay, this is a message about framing. I don't think we should be going to Mars right now, but I do think humans can be an interplanetary species. Well, that's great, David. But this won't happen for at least 7 more lifetimes. You know what I mean? And that's not to discount your idea. It's just to push back against, like Elon Musk talks about Mars. And then what happens is like that is then talked about and taken seriously by people. And it builds up his mythology in the here and now. It builds up his mythology in the here and now about a guy who's like some kind of genius who like cares about humanity. And we know that that's not true about Elon Musk. We know that Elon Musk is a misogynist. He is an anti-Semite. He is a bigot. He is someone who lies all the time. He's someone who spreads disinformation. David is high on human ingenuity, and he's saying he thinks we'll get to Mars in 3 generations. David, ow. Okay, neither Elon Musk nor anybody else will ever colonize Mars. Let's read this because, David, I don't know. I don't agree with you, okay? So Mars does not have a magnetosphere. Any discussion of humans ever settling the red planet can stop right there, but of course it never does. Do you have a low-cost plan for creating a gigantic active dynamo at Mars's dead core? No? Well, it's fine. I'm sure you have some other workable, sustainable plan for shielding live Mars inhabitants from deadly solar and cosmic radiation forever. No? Well, then let's discuss something else equally realistic, like your plan to build a condo complex in Middle Earth. Okay, so you still want to talk about Mars. Fine. Let's imagine that Mars's lack of a magnetic field somehow is not an issue. Would you like to try to simulate what life on Mars would be like? Step 1 is to clear out your freezer. Step 2 is to lock yourself inside of it. You can bring your phone if you like. When you get desperately hungry, your loved ones on the outside may deliver some food to you no sooner than 9 months after you ask for it. This 9-month wait will also apply when you start banging on the inside of the freezer begging to be let out. Congratulations, you have now simulated. I think this is pretty funny. Congratulations, you have now simulated. You have now died horribly within a day or two while simulating what life on Mars might be like once you solve the problem of it not having even 1 gas worth of breathable air anywhere on the entire planet. We will never live on Mars. I mean, I think that these are good arguments. I don't know what to say. I think these are good arguments. But I love your excitement, David, and I love it. Why not stop? Why stop at Mars? Why do we not go surf Saturn's rings? You know what I mean? Let's go surf Saturn's rings. I want to do that. Trump and Doge are planning deregulation at a massive scale. We're going to put this into the chat, okay, so that people understand the stakes. We're going to put this into the Discord as Fact Warriors. Oh, you know what I'm nervous about is missing Fact Warriors. I'm going back and downloading all the past shows, and I'm worried that I'm going to miss them. So Harper Thorpe, we want to talk to you. Harper Thorpe, we want to understand your life, your reality. Is anyone out there feeling like they're not good enough? Is anyone feeling like they've never been enough? Is anyone out there feeling inadequate or in need of love and support, of being uplifted? How will you love people today? How will you use your open energy? How will you give gifts to others? How will you be grateful for others? How will you? Interesting, David. I think it might make us want to be interplanetary, but we may not achieve it. But I'm hopeful for your take. That sounds great. So everybody, are we having a good time? Do we want to talk about something else? Do we want to talk about your sources of information and your media diet? What is up with my throat today? MAGA, who is saying to cheer? Let's assess your media diet. Let's improvise a song. Let's debunk disinfo together. That's what we like to do here. Is there a piece of disinformation you've heard on the internet or seen from an influencer? We know that social media influencers, over 60% of them, do not fact check any information before they share it with others. Okay, so we need to work on that. Because guess what? We are in an information war at all times, gang. from I feel like this from Oliver Willis talking about there's people who debate whether or not it's a good idea to go on Fox propaganda network for anyone who's non-MAGA. And I think that it is not a great idea. Like we've talked before about how Pete Buttigieg should go on it. But here's an argument, David, in opposition to that. It says Democrats love to help this network. It's because it's meant to manipulate everyone, right? It's meant to destroy trust and to destroy people's understanding of what is true and what is not true. And so I think it's a little bit wiggity whack that people would go on to this channel because this is just propaganda. Get the president to pretend that he cares about Latino people because he does not care about anything except for himself. Now, I call this diverse opinion, but it's just Carl Bode and Oliver Willis. These guys need to calm down. Okay, a CBS News exec said the network is hiring more Republicans because we know they'll take over after the midterms. This is a leaked recording by the Washington Post ahead of the hiring of Mick Mulvaney. This is in the past? This is maybe an old article. Let's check in on this. It is an old article. Okay. So Doge is a criminal conspiracy to defraud the people of the United States. We're going to repost that. Oh dear, you're going to want to read this. Looks like Dozers were caught exfiltrating NLRB data, likely on unions for private use. Jesus. Oh my God. Oh geez. This is bad. Do we understand that this is bad? Let's talk about it. A whistleblower's disclosure details how Doge may have taken sensitive labor data. Oh gosh. This is bad. In the first days of March, a team of advisors from President Trump's new department, Doge, arrived in the NLRB. Oh, do they carry the lie that it's about? They've said their unit's overall mission is to review agency data for compliance with the new administration's policies and cut costs to maximize efficiency. We know that that's not what they're doing, so that's a huge disservice to the public by NPR. They've said, but are they saying what they are doing? Is this going to... But according to an official whistleblower, okay, disclosure shared with Congress and other federal overseers that was obtained by NPR, subsequent interviews with the whistleblower and records of internal communications, technical staff members were alarmed about what Doge engineers did when they were granted access, particularly when those staffers noticed a spike in data leaving the agency. It's possible that the data included sensitive information on unions, ongoing legal cases, and corporate secrets, data that 4 labor law experts tell NPR should almost never leave the NLRB, and that has nothing to do with making the government more efficient or cutting spending. Are we here? Do we get it? Meanwhile, according to the disclosure and records of internal communications, members of the Doge team asked that their activities not be logged on the system and then appeared to try to cover their tracks behind them, turning off monitoring tools and manually deleting records of their access. Oh my God. This is what criminal or state-sponsored hackers might do. The employees grew concerned the NLRB's confidential data could be exposed, particularly after they started detecting suspicious login attempts from an IP address in Russia. What? Oh my God. Oh my God. Everybody, what do you feel about this? Lowell, what do you feel about this? What does everybody feel about this? The labor law experts interviewed by NPR fear that if the data gets out, it could be abused, including by private companies with cases before the agency that might get insights into damaging testimony, union leadership, legal strategies, and internal data on competitors, Musk, SpaceX among them. It could also intimidate whistleblowers who might speak up about unfair labor practices, and it could sow distrust in the NLRB's independence, they said. And there we go in the chat. David is hitting the nail on the head. Why would these scared little boys do this? These scared little boys would do this. Look, the young hackers would do it because they have feelings of inadequacy, I presume. And they think that by attaching themselves to Musk and his mythology, that they are doing something good and cool in the world. They are getting cred and cachet. Where is that part, David? I don't remember that I read it. But so, look, like, why are they doing this? I mean, Elon Musk obviously has deep feelings of inadequacy. Elon Musk obviously deals with some serious mental health issues. You know what I mean? And we should be ushering him off the stage of power. We do not need Elon Musk to be, in our halls of power, We do not need that. That is bad for all of us. So he needs to get into therapy. Toot sweet. You know what I mean? He is a scared little boy who's destroying our country out of fear. Fear's patterns have been acting on Elon Musk ever since he was a little boy. And we are all perpetuating the cycle of abuse and violence that is handed down to us from the previous generations. And Elon Musk didn't stand much of a chance. His grandfather had moved the family to South Africa because they were racist. His grandfather was associated with the Nazi Party in Canada, okay? His grandfather wanted there to be a tech dictatorship, and he lobbied for as much in Canada. And then this young man grew up, and he didn't get any good lessons about the world and about life, and he was acting out fear's patterns. That is Elon Musk's MO. Now, this is very serious. We're going to drop this in the Discord. This is a frightening story, everybody. Holy crap. Are people using the Discord and the Fact Warriors articles and sending them across the internet? Because that's why we put them there. So we want you to get in the Discord. You can check that out in the link tree. I need to put the link tree in the Substack, don't I? Holy bajolies. Well, we're reading the news with Deuce, and that's because we're not doing the other things that we do on the program. Okay? We would love for a MAGA person to call into the show so that we can talk to them about their sources of information. We would love to assess your media diet. Would you be so kind as to share with us your media diet? We would love to improvise a song. We'd love to follow the fear, debunk disinfo. David is right. We have to make a stand to have a chance. We have to be out there protesting as much as we can, and that is why I have put together on the website 4 websites to find peaceful protests so you can protest and make content and fight for your rights. So you need to go here and share this with your mother, with your daughter, with your brother, with your lover, and with another, okay? That's what we need to be doing. We need to spread fact-based information that aligns with small d democratic values every single time we are online. 99% of all information we know about the world is told to us by a stranger. And unfortunately, there has been an infrastructure created, a system of persuasion, propaganda, and manipulation created for our MAGA friends and loved ones that is in no way comparable to what the mainstream media, commercialized and corporate and profit-seeking though it may be, is doing to the American mind. We know that people who thought a certain way about Signalgate on the right felt very differently about Signalgate only 1 week later, and that is evidence that the propaganda system that they plug themselves into is able to manipulate their opinion on things and create outcomes in accordance with the agendas of the billionaires like Rupert Murdoch and like all the billionaires in the Council for National Policy. Hey, guess what? If you want to, we are having an event. We are having an event tomorrow night. Let me see if there's any way I can pull it up on the internet. We are having an event tomorrow night in the Discord. We want you to go to the Discord. And how do I do this? And we have an event. Can you see that on the screen? So you can go and join our Discord. Let me put a link. I'm going to share server invite link to event. Okay. Copy. Okay, great. And then I'm going to put this into the Substack chat. Yes, that's what we're going to do. We're going to put it in the Substack chat, baby. Put it in the Substack chat, baby. Do you have a Substack chat, baby? Yeah, we have a Substack chat, baby. Okay, great. I'll put that link in there, and I would love for you to go to come. We're going to be screening the movie Bad Faith, okay? Bad Faith explores how Christian nationalism has become the most powerful anti-democratic force in the USA with an unparalleled ability to destroy democracy from within. Secular and interfaith leaders are joining forces to defend the country from the march to fascism, but Americans seem unaware of the threat. So when we screen that movie, we will see things about the Council for National Policy. We'll see so much information. So please, I've dropped the link into the chat, and you should come and join us tomorrow, Wednesday, where we will be doing that movie. Okay, so let's do that. That sounds great. Come to that event. One person is interested. Who is it? Madison. Perfect. We need more people to be interested. Let me know you're interested. Let me know you exist and that you have a body that is seeing things about the world. Let's keep going through the news. The White House is threatening to defund all of Boston's major hospitals. Let's see what Josh Marshall's perspective is on this NPR story. Oh dear, you're going to want to read. Oh no, we already saw that. Also, Doge Boy seemed to have gone full feral tech boy on the whistleblower once he started asking questions. Oh no. The new revelations about Doge's activities at the labor agency come from the whistleblower in the IT department who disclosed his concerns to Congress and the U.S. Office of a Special Counsel in a detailed report that was then provided to NPR. Meanwhile, his attempts to raise concerns internally within the NLRB preceded someone physically taping a threatening note to his door that included sensitive personal information and overhead photos of him walking his dog that appeared to be taken with a drone. Holy crap. That is terrifying. Y'all, holy majolies. Oh my God, that's terrifying. Ugh, gross. Okay, way too much. Oliver Willis, what happened to you this morning? This looks interesting. Let's check in on this piece. This is from 2022. The Nazi forefather of Fox News and the rest of conservative media. This looks like something that Deuce wants to read, that's for sure. So let's check that out. Put that in the Discord, everybody. Discord. Can I get a Discord? Now, do you guys want me to be dropping these links into the Substack? Because the Substack, you just don't say anything, and we need to hear from you and talk to you. Oliver Willis, let's move off of this. Now, we need people to call into the show. We need people to talk about their fears. We need people to talk about their information diets and media ecosystem. So what's going on out there? Let's debunk some disinformation. Trump uses questionable figure for U.S. plants and factories lost since NAFTA. Okay, so Donald Trump's out here lying about plants and factories. A 2020 Facebook post from a Cody bomber showed a bearded man wearing a mask and a cigarette. Anti-Trump text not in original PA arson suspect's photo. Okay, interesting. So there's some disinformation being spread about the arson suspect. Let's see what we can find out about this. I don't even remember what I asked. So let's keep doing what we're doing. But thank you for responding. Oh, I asked if you were alive there. So thank you so much, Substack. We love you. We love you, Substack, and we're grateful for you, except for the fact that the parent company, the platform's Nazis. Okay, Cody Bomber, the person charged with setting fire to Pennsylvania governor's residence, posted a photo that said F Trump. So that's not true. Photo of PA arson suspect Cody Bomber was falsely edited to show anti-Trump sentiment. I wonder who edited that. In April 2020, a Facebook post from an account that belongs to Cody Bomber shared a photo of a bearded man wearing a face mask with a cigarette stuck in it. The photo didn't include red text that said, "Fuck Trump," as social media posts claim. After authorities announced Cody Bomber, so I guess someone's trying to move Cody Bomber away from being like a Trump supporter. I would assume that he's a Trump supporter, but that's a big assumption. So multiple social media users circulated an image of Bomber that included anti-Trump profanity as proof that he was a liberal. This is the Democrat who set Governor Shapiro's house on fire, said someone named Philip Anderson, sharing a photo of a man in an industrial dust mask. Anderson, a Smith County, Texas, was criminally charged for his actions. Oh, he's a J6er. Okay, so a J6er is going out there. Please drop links into the Substack. Okay. Well, here comes one. Oh, but that means I have to have that open and running because I'm watching the Substack on a different screen. How does this computer handle this? Praise to this computer. Hey, Debbie, how are you? We're dropping links into the Substack now. That's a new feature of the show. That's a new feature of the show because we want to be getting information. Okay. Well, here we are. We're back. So wait, we want to read more about this. So PolitiFact found a Facebook account for Bomber. Okay. The latest public post on the page was in July of last year. Oh, in April of 2020, they did share the same photo, but without the Trump stuff. The 2020 Facebook post did not include red anti-Trump text. Bomber's political affiliations are unknown. The Pennsylvania Department of State website shows Bomber is an active voter, but claims no party affiliation. Traffic violations, theft, forgery. His mother, Christine, had bipolar and schizophrenia. She'd been trying to get him mental help. Okay, so this is a mentally ill person. Okay. Okay, so anyway, people are out there trying to get other people to blame Democrats for the arson on Josh Shapiro's house by a mentally ill person. So that's interesting. We're going to maybe debunk that one. We've got more debunk videos rolling out. I recorded multiple yesterday. So which one do you want me to roll out today? Everybody, let's take a quick vote on the Slack and elsewhere. Today, I can roll out 2 different videos about disinformation, debunking disinfo. One is on that George Soros pays protesters, okay? It's not my best work, but it is a video to post on social media. And the other one is about chemtrails. I mean, does that need to be debunked? It seems like it is. They're still talking about chemtrails, and while we love our MAGA friends and loved ones, we need them to understand that they are swimming in conspiracy. And so if you are a MAGA person, we would love to have you talk to us right now. That would be incredible. And was I not showing this on the screen this whole time? What a dummy. We can also impersonate a MAGA congressman. Look, I've made a new scene for that where I can be safe from being canceled because it just says MAGA congressman impersonation above my head the entire time. You know what I mean? Look at that. It's pretty cool. Hey, Emma's here. Yay. We want them both. So what do we want? Oh, you want both of the disinformation debunking videos? It's a new series called Debunk Disinformation. Deuce debunks disinformation. Okay, let's keep going through some fact checks because we love that. Hello, Emma. You're wonderful. We hope you're having a good time. We hope that you're enjoying life, Emma, and we love you so much and we're grateful for you. And so that is exciting to have Emma here. Danny, how does one join this church? Danny Gupp, you're already there. Danny Gupp, welcome in. Danny Gupp, do you want to join live by calling 917-477-7964 and talking about either your fears and your relationship with fear, because this is a tub of joy and support? Do you want to call and talk about your media diet so that we can talk about that? We would love for you to call us. Wait a second. We realize that we do not even have the setup for the calls. Maybe people have been calling this whole time. Holy crap, Deuce, get it together. Am I friggin' right? Am I friggin' right, Deuce? Get it together, Deuce. Okay. Now it says we've gotten one call Monday, 1047. That's yesterday. Danny Gupp is scared of girls. Okay, everybody, you know what we do here in the tub. We want to support Danny Gupp right now. So we want to say, Danny Gupp, yes, we hear your fear of girls, and we are so grateful that you shared it with us. We want to say, Danny Gupp, we hear your fear of girls, and we love you, and we are so grateful for you and your ideas and your thoughts about the world. Now, Danny Gupp, we would love to examine more about your fear of girls. You know what I mean? We would love to understand more about you and your fear of girls. You are afraid of girls. Why? Will you tell us? Will you call into the program? We will not reveal any of your private information, and we will talk to you about that if you want to. Otherwise, we support you, and we are grateful that you would share your fear in this space of vulnerability, because sometimes in this world, we do not have a space to be vulnerable. Sometimes in this world, we do not have a space where we can share the problems going on in our lives. Sometimes we do not have a space where anyone, it feels like, will listen to us. But I guarantee you that everyone here in the tub will listen to you, Danny Gupp, because we love you and we support you. Because we understand that in this world that is being divided by the scared little boys and the fears agents who own the means of communication, the billionaires and the oligarchs who tune the algorithms to divide us and have us at each other's throats, to spread a message of hate, judgment, violence, cruelty, bigotry, and domination. That's right, we push back against that every single time here, and we work on our relationship with fear. Danny Gupp, perhaps you could say in the chat or live, you could say, these are my fears and I embrace them. You might be able to say, if you want to, if you have the energy to do so, you might be able to say, I am afraid of girls. That is my fear and I embrace it. Yes, and we are so grateful to have you here, Danny Gupp, and this is part of the program at all times here in the Megachurch of Joy. What we do here in the Tub of Joy, where it's always 69, is we talk to people about their fears and we tell them how much we love them. And you can join our Discord, Danny Gupp, and you can be a part of this religion. Danny Gupp can't call other countries. We do have quite the international fan base, and we're so grateful for that. And so, Danny Gupp, you could also join the Discord and talk to us live via the Discord. Is that something that's possible for you, Danny Gupp? Let us know, because we would love to talk to you. This space is for talking with other people. This space is for connecting with other people. So, Danny Gupp, while we wait to see if you will join the Discord, and while I will go get the Discord invite, and I will go get that in preparation of the possibility that you might be able to do that, and we will put you straight into the call-in room. Copy the link. Danny does have Discord. Danny GUP, here you go. Oh. Boom, that's how you join. That is how you join Danny GOP. GUP or GOP. I mean, whoever, whatever. That's what you're into. So, Danny, while we see if you are joining the Discord, and maybe someone else could help me with that, let me see. Just let somebody let me know if Danny does join the Discord, and then we can bring Danny in live. Fuck it, we're doing it live, as that disinformer once said, Bill O'Reilly. So while we wait for Danny Gup to call into the show, we are going to get back to covering some debunking disinformation, because that's what we love. The link doesn't work. Are you kidding my friggin' daddy? Holy crap. What can we do? Did we mess something up? Hold on. The link doesn't work. Danny Gup wants to join live, and we are going to have Danny Gup join live. So we are going to get a different invite, people. We are going to copy the invite, but it says it's hidden. I don't understand why this is always hidden. Fur. See, this is what I get. It says hidden, use copy button. Emma shared a link. We can't see it. I guess I need to change some settings. Oh, this is Danny, do you have a Discord? Do you have a Discord account? I could send you a link. I could send you a thing on Discord. Do you have a Discord? Maybe it doesn't work because you just don't have a Discord. I don't know. Oh no, I need help. I need help. I need moderation. Moderation nation. You do have Discord. What is your name on Discord, Danny Gup? Let's get that far. We can do this. I believe in you. I believe in us. I believe in the world. So we are going to invite people. We are going to search for friends. My Discord name is only one Daniel. There can only be one Daniel. Only one Daniel. Emma, I believe in you. No results found for only one Daniel. Only one Daniel. No results found. Are you sure that is your name? Everybody, we are having a great time. We are talking about the news, and we are debunking disinformation live. We are also trying to get our friend Danny Gup to join the program, and we do not see Danny, or is that invite friends? No, that's okay. Invite friends. What in the holy world? Why can't anything work ever? You know what I mean? Nothing works ever, and that is Deuce's fear. Why would it be a hidden? Use the copy button. Copy. What the heck? Paste. Hidden. Use copy button. What does that even mean? Why was this how the world would work? Oh, gosh, by golly, Jiminy Jolly. Why doesn't things work? Okay, we don't know, and we love you. So everybody, look. While I try to figure this out, why don't you watch an incredible video? Let's see, what can we have everyone watch while I try to figure this out? I have a video we could watch while we try to figure this out. I made a video about disinformation. Thank you, Emma. I'm so grateful for that. I made a video about how things are normalized. No, what is it? Media and Democracy Project. I made a video about normalization, and I want everybody to watch it. And so that's what we're going to ask you to do. So we're going to go to the Media and Democracy Project. We are going to click on, where's this video that I made? Is it here? Here it is. I made this video, and now we will watch it, and I will try to figure out how to get in touch with Danny Gup, and Emma gets it. She's thanking me for sharing her fear.
Former President Trump's first
Look at this, guys.
out of office have been far from conventional. While his predecessors usually disengage from politics, Donald Trump has been weighing a full return to the spotlight with a potential presidential bid in 2024. And CNN's Gabby Orr is live here with us in Washington with more on this. He had a rough transition, I guess you could say, Gabby, to start his post-presidency.
This was not an easy transition for former President Trump. Part of the reason for that is because he refused to accept the election result. They had nothing set up when he finally got down there.
It's time to evacuate so we can secure the members on the other side.
You know, when you see these photos surfacing now, those are actually being taken from the bridal suite above Mar-a-Lago's ballroom.
The bridal suite, sort of where the magic happens.
Right.
Is there like a heart-shaped hot tub in there?
We have a breach of the Capitol.
What is his political presence going to be in the midterms?
He's actually planning to resume his rallies.
And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
Making sure that he molds this party in his image.
What about him and his plans for 2024?
What does Donald Trump do in 2024?
They were peaceful people. These were great people.
Is this the bridal suite, like where the bride and the bridesmaids get ready?
We need an area for the house members.
Where they would get ready if they were getting married at Mar-a-Lago.
Oh, so the crimping.
This is now effectively a riot.
So Jason Miller's not like tossing rose petals.
One of 4 officers who has died by suicide after responding to the Capitol riot.
I've never actually been invited to the
Never been a bride.
to the one where the
Or
brides get ready.
The love in the air. I've never seen anything like it.
Gabby, thank you so much. Great reporting.
It's great
there.
reporting. Thank you very much.
I mean, are you kidding my daddy? Are you kidding my friggin' daddy with that? Okay? Are you kidding my friggin' daddy? Do we see how the sausage is made, everybody? Holly's saying in the chat that Gabby Orr's dystopian cult smile and smize are chilling. Well, you know, the thing about Gabby Orr is she's doing the best she can with what she has. And one of the things that she has is a desire to normalize Donald Trump. She did it in many ways while she was working for the Washington Post. She normalized Jim Banks, the guy who famously told a fired federal employee that they were a loser and that they probably deserved it as he got on the elevator the other day. This is a group of people with very little empathy for the rest of their fellow Americans. And we have to understand that. Now, why can't I make an invite? I'm really going to lose my mind, everybody. So it just says hidden use copy button. That doesn't make any sense. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense that the link would be hidden and it says use copy button, and then I use copy button, and then I can't paste. And then I paste and it says hidden use copy button. I'm so upset, and that's not how I like to be. So I'm so grateful for you all. We have Danny Gup who wants to join, but let's keep going through these. Let's keep going through what's going on in the world. Okay, let me get this off the screen. We're just going to keep debunking disinformation. So we're not sure about the humanity of the person who firebombed the governor's mansion. It says you block whispers. Well, what the heck is that? I block whispers. Okay, well, I block whispers. Is that a Twitch thing or is that a ugh? What is a whisper? What is a whisper? What is any of this? What is a whisper? How do I change it? Privacy settings. Oh, okay. All right. So they can't be contacted. Okay, Danny Gup, you block whispers. Sorry. Okay, we're going to go back to look at a disinformation. How much longer do we have on the program today? We've got about 45 minutes. As always, I want to remind everyone, Danny Gup unblocked it. Well, great. Now, Danny Gup unblocked it. This is really going to be the most epic thing ever if we can get Danny Gup in here. So, okay, only one Daniel. Are you a person? No results found. Only one Daniel. No results found. All right, this is really crushing my soul. Really crushing my soul. Okay, we've got more people coming in the Substack, and we want to talk to you about your sources of information. We want to talk to you about your media diet, especially if you are a MAGA person. We want to talk. Can I add your Discord? Sure. Okay, Emma sent something. It seems like things are happening, and we're so grateful for you, Emma. So we're going through and debunking this piece of disinformation that's floating around on the internet amongst our MAGA friends and loved ones that is telling them that a Pennsylvania arson suspect, Cody Bomber, Oh, Danny Gup is in the Discord. We are going to be joined live by Danny Gup. They're in the Discord. Now, can you go into live stream call-in, please? Please go to live stream call-in, and then we will talk to you, Danny Gup, and that will be amazing, and everyone will have a great time. We are about to talk to Danny Gup about their fear of girls. They are scared of girls, and we want to understand and listen and talk to Danny Gup. Can you get in there, Danny Gup? And this is finally going to happen, and we're so grateful. Do I have to grant you permissions or anything, or what do I have to do? Why aren't you in there? Why can't I get you in there? Seeking the fear still. Yeah, Big Nick, we are. We're doing it, and we're so grateful to have you here, Big Nick. I can't see who's in here because the internet is always trying to defeat me, and really the internet is like pretty solid at defeating me. So we're waiting for Danny to join us and talk about their fear of girls. And yeah, Big Nick, we're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it all. And we need you to talk to people about it. I think I need to have people chatting consecutively, or 3 people in a stream. I need something to become a Twitch affiliate. And so we're just so grateful for everyone who's in here and learning about the space. And we're giving Danny Gup one moment. And so while we give Danny Gup one moment, we're going to keep looking at disinformation and dispelling it and debunking it. Featured fact check: President Donald Trump. Oh, I will annex Alaska. That's even. Hey, Danny Gup is here. Can everyone hear Danny Gup?
Hi.
Oh, heck yeah. We got Danny Gup in here. Now, Danny Gup, do you want to go by a different name, or do you want to go by Danny Gup?
You can just call me Danny.
Danny or Danny?
Yeah, Danny.
Danny. Okay, Danny. Danny, now over time, I've learned a couple things that I like to do in the tub here, okay? Now, we're going to talk to you about your fear, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to talk to you about your fear, so it's not going to get as intense as sometimes other things do, but it could get intense if we wanted to. Now, Danny Gup, I'm going to reach across the internet. I'm going to reach across the internet, and I'm going to put my hand on your shoulder, and I'm going to say, I got your back. Okay, can you do the same for me?
Yeah, of course. I got your back.
You got my back. I heard it. And I love you, and I support you, and I want to hear your ideas. So can you tell us a little bit about your fear? You said you're scared of girls.
Yeah, I am.
And so what does that mean?
I mean, it's hard to talk to them. I don't know them as good.
And you
I don't
want
know
to
what they like.
And you want to talk to girls.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you said that you don't know what they like.
Yeah, I don't know what they're like, what they like, how they're different from me,
Well, yeah, I mean, what if everyone's different, Men, women, everyone. What if maybe we're all different? Is that an idea?
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
So if everyone's different, right? Like I don't think one group or another is a monolith. You know what that means when we say what group is a monolith?
No.
Okay, so like a monolith is like when a group of people, right? So you could say like all white people in America are the same. Now, I don't believe that that's true because, there's all kinds of different white people, right? Like white is just some designation that we arbitrarily choose. So what I'm kind of just saying is that like there's going to be women and girls who are into all sorts of different things and who have all different sorts of personalities and who, might be spoken to in all different kinds of ways. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Now, Big Nick is in the chat making some jokes. Big Nick, this is an earnest time, and we appreciate your energy and your attitude, Big Nick, but this is an earnest time here with Danny. So, Danny, what I'm hearing, what I'm understanding is that you want to talk to girls because you are interested in girls, you're attracted to women. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes.
And you're afraid?
Yeah. It's just I'm afraid what they're gonna think of me.
And can we And can we go even a little deeper? Are you willing to, we love you and we support you and we're so grateful that you're sharing. Is there something about you that you think isn't valuable?
Maybe I feel that,
Yeah. Well, Danny, we love you. What are some of your skills, Danny? I'm sure you have incredible skills. Like, are there some things that you're good at or that make you happy to do?
I do a lot of sports.
Okay.
So, I'm creative. I make like films.
Oh, that's cool. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Now, we have one of our loving members. We're all here to support you and give you love, Danny. And one of our loving members asks in the chat, is there a specific girl that you are afraid of talking to? Is there a specific gal out there in your life? Where do you live, if you don't mind me asking?
I live in Germany.
You live in Germany. Well, grüß Gott to you. Sprichst du Deutsch?
Yeah.
Oh, jawohl. Jawohl to you, Danny. So, Danny, you live in Germany. Now, is there a specific girl, like maybe in school or something like that you're kind of thinking about specifically?
Yeah, there is.
And now, do you feel like is it as a school scenario or a work scenario?
It's a school.
Okay. And so, have you grown up with this girl? Have you known her for a long time, since you were a kinder?
No. She just came into our class. She moved into our class.
Oh, cool. Wow. That's always fun and exciting when a new exciting person moves into your space and into your world. I love that. Now, Danny, I think what we could say to folks and what folks might say to you is that as long as you are, acting in good faith and you're not being mean or you're not imposing upon someone, I think in general, people like to hear nice things about themselves, And so I don't know, Emma is our resident gal here today. I don't know about Vigi BP, but maybe we could give Danny some suggestions. Danny, would you ever think that you might follow the fear off of the sort of, do you think you might ever follow your fear, and have your fear lead you towards, right? Let's walk through this, right? So you're in class, or there's a time in the day, maybe a study hall or something like that, and you're thinking, I would just love to go to talk to, let's call her Sarah, okay? I would love to go to talk to Sarah. And it doesn't have to be a big move the first time you ever talk to Sarah. It could just be have you ever spoken to her before?
Yeah, but it's all small talks.
Small talk. Now, Emma asked, what would you want to say to her?
What to say?
What Emma asked, and also Big Nick, are you being a dick? Because I don't know if you've been here once we left Twitch, and once we left Twitch, Big Nick. Now, Big Nick is an OG member, and we want to support everyone's ideas unless they're being a dick. So, Big Nick, are you being a dick? Or we just want to check in on Big Nick and if he's being a dick. Now, Danny, Emma asked, what would you want to say? What is it that the energy you have in your body that you want to say to Sarah?
That I want to spend more time with her.
That you want to spend more time with her. Wow. Now, Danny, let's walk through the bad, the quote unquote bad scenario, right? Because maybe there's no real good or bad here. There's just the idea that you express how you feel to Sarah, and then maybe Sarah says, oh, well, that's lovely, Danny, and that's nice to hear. I don't know if that's how I feel about you, and that's okay, because guess what? There's like 7 billion people in the world, and I know that Sarah is pretty sweet and pretty great right now, and maybe she will be great for a long time. And so we're thinking that it is a good idea. We're thinking that it's a good idea to maybe tell Sarah that you want to spend more time with her, because you could just see what she says. What would happen if that happened?
Yeah.
Like, is there a girl that you've ever spoken to that it's gone well, that you have talked to and it's been nice?
No, not really.
Okay. Well, so Danny, I think what I would want to express to you in this moment is that everybody is just another person in this world, you know, boys, girls, anybody. And so we all have things that we want to say to other people. And as long as we're being nice and kind and we're being supportive and loving and we're being, you know, listening to the ideas of others, it might be a good idea to just talk to Sarah a little bit more. Now, you said you're afraid that they won't understand you or they won't, you know, find anything interesting about you, but you make films. You might want to talk to Sarah about films. You might say, hey, are you watching that hot new show in Deutschland right now called Deutschland Zeitung? That means German newspaper. Anyway, you know, maybe you want to say, are you, and then you also play a lot of sports. Does Sarah play any sports?
No, she doesn't.
Okay, she doesn't play any sports. But I mean, everybody watches stuff. So maybe there's lots of things that we could talk about with people and we don't always realize it. And there's also lots of like beauty and joy. There's also lots of beauty and joy and love in just listening to people as well. So you might ask Sarah questions about herself and just listen and respond to whatever it is that she says. Now, do you want to practice speaking to a girl?
I don't know.
I mean, we could see how that goes. I mean, I think what I'm seeing is that Emma is offering like to model what it would be like for you to chat with a girl.
Sure.
Okay, and also someone else is asking, what is it about her that makes you want to spend more time with her? It's a great question.
I think it's like she's pretty and it looks like she has a good personality.
Well, that's so sweet. Danny, that's so sweet. So she's pretty and it looks like she has a good personality. So, I mean, you know, I don't know. It's been a long time since I've been in school and I don't know, you know, what the post-Me Too rules are and stuff, but I got to believe that if you just bring that sweetness and that affection and that kindness that you're exhibiting here, you seem like such a wonderful, kind young man, that I think that you can do it, you know? I could tell you a little bit about my experience where, you know, I've been through the exact same experience as you in life, right? Being nervous about talking to women. And it's never going to get easy, right? That's the thing. That's what we learn from improv as well, is that like if you're a seasoned improviser and you're in 7 years of being on the same team at a theater and you're about to go on stage and you don't feel a little bit of something, right? Any performer, a band that's about to go on stage, an actor who's about to take the stage, anyone who's out there performing, they feel a little something because it's scary to put yourself out there, right? That's always scary. And so we support you so much in that idea that it's always scary to put yourself out there. And so that's a real thing that happens. And, you know, through the power of improv and through the idea that, you know, I would follow my fear, I'd take one step towards it and I would just maybe go and ask someone. Because often we also are spending time in our own heads thinking that the other people in the world, you know, might be thinking one thing about us or judging us for some reason or having some idea about us that might not even be an idea that they have about us until we break the ice. You know what I mean? So Emma, are you in here? Are you in the Discord now? Are you hanging out? You are.
I am in the live stream call-in section.
You are.
So, hey.
Hey, here we go.
Yeah. So Danny, what would you want to say to a girl? Like maybe not a girl, but you know, sometimes that happens to us.
Oh, Danny typed in the chat that he got scared. Danny, that's okay. We are so grateful that you shared with us that you got a little bit freaked out there by Emma. Emma does have a lovely radio voice, a voice that reflects her kind and pretty personality. You know what I mean? And so, Emma, we're grateful for you. Danny, is there something about yourself that you might want to say in the presence of a woman?
Yeah, he may text it. He like straight up disconnected.
Oh, whoa. Oh, no, Danny. Okay, so Danny, we love you. And Danny, we support you. And so, Danny, we're understanding so much about you. And we're understanding so much about your fear. And we're learning that it is perhaps stronger than even your old pal Deuce understood. And so we're so grateful that you would go one step towards your fear in that way. And that you would even join and talk on the internet to strangers about that fear. And we're so deeply hopeful, Danny, that just our little bit of talking with you may have affected your ability to talk to someone the next time. And then another thing that we might encourage you to do, Danny, if you have the energy and if you are so inclined, is to talk with someone else in your life about these feelings. Hopefully you have some friends over there in Deutschland, in your Heimat, and maybe you could talk to a friend about these feelings that you're having, about this fear of Mädchen. Hey, Emma, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I also just wanted to add that I'm really proud of Danny for at least saying something when I was there. He was there for a minute, and I really appreciate his confidence there. And so I think I would much rather acknowledge that than just move on. So I want to thank Danny for not only sharing his fear, but being a part of the group.
That is so friggin' beautiful. That is so friggin' beautiful, Emma. Absolutely. You're helping me out. You're supporting me in my attempts to support Danny because, I was not mindful to say that in that moment. And I'm so appreciative of that. What a team. What a team in the tub we have.
For real, we're out here tubbing.
The tub team. And while we're here, I just want to remind everyone that this show is always brought to you by... Well, Emma, that's so beautiful, and I'm grateful for you, Emma, that you would come in. And I do recognize someone typed in the chat that maybe we ambushed Danny a little bit, and we are so sorry for that, Danny, if you felt surprised. I don't know if I asked for consent necessarily. I think we talked about it. Team 69. Okay, David. But it is true. We do have to break through to the bros out there, and so we do have to make jokes about 69 because what I've learned about the world is that universally people kind of appreciate 69 jokes. Okay. Well, so I'm so grateful, Emma, because you didn't want to move on from recognizing Danny's vulnerability. And so we are, okay, now the chat is just saying 69 over and over again. And that's, look, if we have the little boy energy to do that, that's okay. We're okay with that. So, Emma, how have you been?
I've been good. Things up and down. Things are up right now.
Things are up. Hell yeah.
60 fucking 9. We got, let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the chat.
Yeah, hell yeah. We're having a good time out here. You know what I mean? 69, yeah, yes, and. Okay, things are up. That's beautiful. We love that things are up for you in this topsy-turvy world. You want to share about it at all, or do you just want to rest in it and smile in it?
Yeah, I guess things are good. I just have I feel like I have been doing a lot better at spending my brain space effectively. Rather than on negative things. Like, I've been trying really hard to come up with interests and things to fill my brain when I'm getting a little down.
That's incredible.
10 is my favorite number, Big Nick.
10 is your favorite number. Big Nick, what is Emma's fave number? And now also, so my honest opinion of Chick-fil-A is I never have eaten there because they have spent money overseas to threaten LGBTQ plus people. That's my honest opinion of Chick-fil-A. Now, Emma, we need to check in with you. I reckon, Emma, the last time we spoke with you was a beautiful rumination on your fear that you shared with us, which was a fear of making art and these blocks that you would run into. And we said, is it possible for you to tell yourself to be messy And is it possible for you to tell yourself to go for it? Has that been any part of your feeling up about the world these days?
I mean, like, I'd say the up for me has definitely been being able to like tap back into that art, that creativity. So yeah, I would say some of it's that, but less of it has, if I'm gonna be so real with you, it has been comfortable and like artistic, but I've also been doing a lot of history work with my dance stuff. So that's been satisfying too, as a way to keep up my brain.
Like, okay, wait, hold on. We're not talking about interpreting like historical events with dance. We're talking about you're like working on like stored energy in your body through dance?
So there's both of that, right? So on the one, there is the historical implications of dance. So there's several choreographers who I really like, who I feel like kind of changed things from just swing dancing and social dancing into jazz dance.
This
so
is
there
cool.
Are several...
Are you a dance expert?
I minored in it in college. I wouldn't call myself an expert.
I'd call you an expert.
Well, thank you. Yeah, so I minored in dance in undergrad. So yeah, I'm pretty interested in dance. So rather than just doing the like movement based stuff, I've also been like, hey, knowing some more, right? Like, information is power. So
that's incredible. So are you like doing like a dance? You're like working like a dance like piece in your home or at a rehearsal space?
Well, so a lot of it, in fact, I haven't been working on a specific project per se yet. What I've been trying to do for the project element of it has been like trying to understand historically more what's going on with like jazz dance. But a lot of that in my like day-to-day life has just been like me watching YouTube videos of old choreographers doing their sort of exercises.
Dance is so cool. I did not really know what dance was all about until several years ago when I started going to like more dance, and I saw like Pilobolus, and I went over to the Joyce Theater in New York City and I saw a Martha Graham piece, and
Wow, good for you.
Oh, thank you. It is so cool. Like, I didn't really understand that this is so effed up of me, okay? But I'm just sharing, I'm being vulnerable. I did not really understand that dance was as much of, I did not put dance on the same level of an artistic pursuit as perhaps like painting or theater or, music. And that's on me. That's my bad. Because really, I mean, dance is nothing more than theater with movement. And obviously there's a need for more mental work, interpretation, but that's kind of what's cool about it. Like when we see a painting, especially an abstract painting, we have to bring our own humanity, and it is a reflection of our humanity, and we are spending time in that space when we are looking at a piece of art, ruminating on what it means to us, being affected by it, feeling what it does to our bodies. And that is obviously, I mean, it wasn't obvious to this young man at one point in his life, but that is obviously the thing with dance. So that is so freaking cool. And so, you know what I would ask of you, Emma, is if you could put, what's the best place for it? Let's put it in Tools for Joy for right now. Why not? I don't know. Well, there's no good places yet. We haven't figured out the Discord. But if you would have any energy to put any of those places into the Discord, that would be so amazing, and we would love that so much.
And by that you mean like
those videos of the things that you've been watching.
Oh yeah, I'll throw in some. The choreographer who I'm talking about, her name's Catherine Dunham. They consider her one of like the mothers of jazz dance. So
jazz
or
dance.
I do.
Wow, I don't even know anything about jazz dance, so I'm excited. The mother of jazz dance.
So here's like a short clip of her.
Oh.
I don't have permission to post in the channel. So.
Oh, crap-a-lapa ding-dong. Hold on uno momento, por favor. No permission to drop it in the channel. Let's see what's going on. We're going to the Tools for Joy. Oh, yeah, I guess I'm the only one who's supposed to have permission. Oops. Can you put it in a different channel? Can you put it in Community Garden?
Absolutely. Let's see. I do not have permission to post in that channel either.
Well, you're about to. What do we do?
Look at that.
What do we do? Why are you so barred from doing things?
I think I'm just like a girl. Like, I think other people have roles here as like member. I'm just like a girl.
You're just a girl.
I don't have any like.
Okay.
Like if you look at other people, their names are colored, and I don't have that member role that other people do.
How do I make you a member?
I think you right click on me.
Yeah, open in mod view. Mod view.
Yeah. And then you'd want to make me a member.
Kick, ban. No.
No,
I don't want to do that. Where this is the internet roles, add role member. Doopy doo. Okay, I'm understanding. Lilith was so kind as to set all this up. Now you are a member.
Yeah, and for yet some reason I still don't have that ability. So now I feel like a real idiot, and I'm sorry for faking you out. What if I put it in the companion, and then you click it, and I'll delete it?
Great.
Cool. So it's in the companion right now, and you let me know when you click it so I can delete it, and it won't be messing up that vibe.
Okay, everybody, we're gonna watch some jazz dance for a second here. This is so freaking cool that we can just do this live. This is so cool. Hey, check it out, kids and cool cats. Jazz dance. Now, this is old, so this has got to be pretty cool. Like, this is probably like breaking people's minds at the time. Eartha Kitt. What is this from?
It's just a lot of her like choreography. I think it's some movie. Either way, what's really relevant to me is like that like jumping and not sitting shit crazy. Like this is like choreographing situations. And then if we're talking about like just the technique of it and the exercises that she's doing, I'm posting another one in chat. And I just did. This one's like 20 minutes. We don't need to watch all of it, but like this is what I did. Like on the what's it called? On the I put it on my TV and I kind of worked out to it.
Yo, that's so cool. I love that. So everybody, if you're joining right now, we are watching Eartha Kitt in the early days of jazz dance. Wow, look at that. That's young Eartha Kitt right there, huh? I guess I didn't realize. I just thought Eartha Kitt. I don't know anything about Eartha Kitt. Because Eartha Kitt, in my experience, was just like an older lady who had a voice like this or something like that. You know, she had a cool voice. Okay. You put another one in?
Yeah, it's in that same channel.
Oh, ad. Tax season today, literally. Get your taxes in, I guess. What are we paying for, though?
Yeah, I'll get your taxes in. It's like been tax season. Dude, if you don't have your taxes in, do it. It's so late. Do you see what I'm saying with like the up and the down? Those are, so what she's talking about there, like, well, she's not saying anything, but like isolations is a lot of what Catherine Dunham was able to do. And so that was so foundational to like coming up with jazz dance because like isolating individual pieces of the body, like this exercise really like honed that in. So like there was more opportunities for play in dance, right? Because more people are learning this as a foundation for a particular style.
Interesting.
Yeah, and so like imagine like, I don't know, this goes from like music video dancing, like tap dance on TV when a real long time ago, or like musical theater.
For sure.
Everything that we're seeing here is a foundation of that. Even sometimes like modern American ballet incorporates some of Catherine Dunham. Not Russian ballet, not all that other shit overseas, but like the stuff that's affected in America is affected by this.
I mean, this looks like the origin of popping and locking to Rev Deuce. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, jazz definitely, the jazz tree leads into music video dance as well as hip hop, which breaks into a lot of different areas, right? So you can go popping, locking, tutting, voguing. You have all these elements of hip hop, and I just mentioned house music at the end, but if you have all these elements in like hip hop, it spreads off into ballroom too, of course. But there's a whole bunch of really interesting things about jazz, which I mean, we've been talking about jazz a whole lot. It would be a shame not to acknowledge the link to Black culture. A lot of jazz is inherently American, which is beautiful, but that means there's a huge melting pot of people coming together, right? If we think about some of the like early drum days and stuff like that, that makes a huge difference, because it's like we want that like strong, that foundation, that beat, and that's what like a lot of folks used in the South to communicate to each other, enslaved folks, because they weren't allowed to communicate, right? So they had to communicate through drums. And so similarly, a lot of what they talk about in this one documentary I'm obsessed with is like that beat is so essential to communication. Dance is so essential to communication.
Yeah, well, movement. Can I say that's incredible? First of all, you are the resident Megachurch of Joy expert on dance. Let's just get that out of the way. And then the other thing is that, what did you just say? You just said move. Oh yeah. So I was doing improv rehearsal the other day. I know for many people that seems like an oxymoron, but you go to rehearsal, you practice things, you do sets, you basically work on connecting with your teammates by doing exercises in other sets that no one will ever see and that are then disposed of from the world. And it's a beautiful thing. But the thing is that we did an exercise where we just spoke in numbers, right? So we came out, and like I was sad when I came out, and my scene partner Samara, she was like gave me immediate energy of like maybe we were on a first date, and the energy I entered with was that like sadness, and it was kind of amorphous. I think I was gonna say that someone had just died or whatever, but we were only speaking in like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's what we were doing, obviously some classic theater shit. But so we were doing that. And what I found, Emma, was that we were cluing into each other's bodies so much more, because yes, like you are saying, the body is a means of communication. And we communicate so much with the positioning of our bodies, with the positioning of our faces, with the disposition of our bodies, the tilts, the retreats, the advances, the communication is unbelievable with our bodies. So that is so cool that we're talking about this. What else do you have to say?
Yeah, I guess when you're talking about those numbers, right? Like at least for me, when you're saying like that improv shit, it's interesting that I'm not gonna lie to you, I have huge problems with improv, but that has nothing to do with improv itself. It has to do with like the improv community that I grew up in and how abusive a lot of the shit was, and so.
Whoa.
Yeah. So a lot of this conversation that we're having, like that whole yes and.
Yeah.
I have a different take on it.
Oh, can we hear it?
Yeah. So it's like.
Okay, I'm gonna pause this because it's a little distracting. I'm gonna come back to the main tub. Okay, hello.
The premise of yes and.
Yeah.
Is never saying no in a scene, never shutting something down.
Yeah, that's yes. Yeah, sure. Yeah, at a base level, yeah, absolutely. The more you do it, you can figure out sometimes ways to say no and redirect, that kind of a thing. But yes, I accept what you're saying. I agree.
Yeah, so that premise of like yes, and if you say no in a scene, you're shutting it down. So this idea of inherently not liking a no. In a community, which doesn't mean anything in improv, right? That's just improv, that's just that. But when you're a kid, right, and you're in a community and you're taught that you're not supposed to say no, you're taught that you're not supposed to have boundaries, you're taught that when an adult tells you to do something, you fucking do it. Because you want to be the center of attention, you want to be in the middle, because that's, I don't know, you were just growing up there, right? And so I guess for me, this whole idea of yes and, like, I hear it for this group and I hear it how you mean it here. But when I hear yes and, what I hear is, what I hear is you gotta say yes. There is no other option. The option is to say yes. The option is to say yes to it. And if you're saying no to it, what are you doing? And this idea of no can be just as sort of empowering as that yes and. And so rather than just saying yes and no, you know, I resonate with that. And I think being able to adjust it in that way has been huge. But yeah, like a large group of my community of this idea of being in theater, being told to do things, being told that you're being dramatic when you're saying things outside of a theater context, right? So we're combining multiple things, including my experience as a woman, right? And so there's just like a lot of things going into it. So I don't know, theater is complicated for me personally, and I think honestly for a lot of the women I know.
Absolutely. And are you talking about like the theater community as the same time as you're also talking about being in scenes and feeling like, you know, especially in early improv, people can, you know, there's fewer people who are committed to the idea of improv and improving it as a craft and that kind of a thing. And so there is a lot of humanity and a lot of energy and a lot of wild energy and humanity and, you know, some things that like people do not filter out, right? When you are making stuff up on a stage, people sometimes do not filter things out. Certainly it is the case that like in the way that there are powerful, charismatic figures who have power in improv theaters and in theater in general, that is a huge problem. The lack of, you know, equality and power imbalances, especially when one person or a small cadre of people are in charge of who might advance and these types of things, when you are devoting your time and energy and you are also being like an open, vulnerable person in an artistic space where it is encouraged for you to be open and vulnerable, and then that can be manipulated. Absolutely. So I definitely understand a lot of what you're saying, Emma, and that is really tough. And, you know, I guess just, you know, in everything that I try to do, I try to express, you know, the beauties of yes and I'd think that something beautiful that you just said is yes and no. Yes and no. You know, like, yeah, it's like, okay, we could, with anything in this world, right? It's like, okay, that's kind of cool, but we're getting a little out of control now. So it's time for no. You know, you're like, yes and, oh, also now it's time for no. I hear that. I totally hear that. And, you know, we had a lot going on in the improv community here in New York City, like before Me Too. You know what I mean? We had a lot going on. And people, because it's a more sensitive community, right? And then they were exposing different like theaters for, you know, there was the leader of one of the theaters who was totally manipulating his situation and totally manipulating the people, you know, under him, quote unquote, right? And that's totally messed up. And so I hear you, and I'm so sorry that you had that experience. And of course, though, it is an experience that goes on. So it is worthwhile to talk about and to try to help people if they happen to find themselves in that experience in the future. And so, Big Nick, I guess what we're saying is that like, yes and, but everyone should always have, because sometimes like in a really acute sense, sometimes, you know,
Wait, really quick. Like, for instance,
Yeah.
we had Danny earlier, right? And this idea that
Right.
him disconnecting was his no, and I love that for him.
Absolutely.
I think that's
Danny
great.
said no. Danny
I
said
think he
yes.
needed
He
that.
joined live. Yeah.
And no.
And no. So that's a little bit about what we mean. And also sometimes, I mean, I have definitely seen, especially in early improv classes, Big Nick's world. And Big Nick, we're so grateful that you like listened to the space, you listened to the community, and you tamped back when the community reported back in its self-immunizing body that there was some dickish energy. We're grateful for you being here, Big Nick, and we are appreciative of you and your desire to manage your energy, as just as we talk about everyone is managing their energy. And so I've seen in improv, especially early improv, right, where you've got people of all different types and all different energies and all different understandings and all different you know, depths of humanity, and understanding that people outside of their own body have their own ideas and choices and humanity that should be respected. because that is literally a thing that improv does for all of us. Is it teaches us, it works on our humanity, and it makes us, hopefully, if we are engaging, I believe, in an earnest way, it connects us. Big Nick, that is such a beautiful message. We're so grateful for that. You know, as we learn from a community that is supportive, right? I think, you know, one thing I think about all the time is like the whole trans, you know, thing where it's like, I think that there's a real energy on the MAGA world of like, well, you know, embarrassment. Like, I don't want to get it wrong, you know? And when you're in an improv, like pronouns or whatever it is, right? And, you know, I think when you're in an improv community and there are elders there and there are people who care deeply about improv and support and love and supporting others, that you can be in a space where you can work on your humanity, where you can be gently corrected. But what I want to get to is, I'm so rambly, is that I've seen improv teachers and coaches not stop scenes when something has gone to the end no part, you know? And so, yes, I hear you. And it is so important that people have the ability and understand that they do not have to go along with everything that's happening, because I've seen some effed up stuff. And we're just doing the best that we can with what we have, and we're trying. Yes, and no sometimes. I like that, Big Nick.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Emma, isn't it so nice to agree? And I'm so grateful for you, Emma. Emma, is there anything else that you want to share while you're in the tub here? Deuce has about 5 more minutes, actually. I think someone suggested a song a long time ago, but Emma, do you have anything else you want to share?
We can do that song, but I guess I really want folks to look up Catherine Dunham on your own. She's a really interesting jazz choreographer. And yeah, I hope you all have a great day.
Hell yeah, Emma. Oh, Emma's so great. We love Emma. Oh, Marley Paris jumped in to say 69 before. That's funny, Marley. You're funny. You goof. Now, the thing is I was trying to go to Instagram today, and I'm so sad. And so we want to say we're grateful for Emma, and we're grateful for Emma's energy, and we want to grow this thing, and we want to tell the people in the Substack that, yeah, this is also something that we do here. We don't just talk about the news and being fact warriors at all times. We just chat with people and we follow the energy, and we especially want to talk to people about their fears. We especially want to talk to people about their relationship with fear. Because every single moment, once we are born into this world, fear's patterns are working on all of us. Fear is imbued into every aspect of society, and fear's patterns of shame and doubt and guilt, domination, persecution, inadequacy, and bigotry are passed on to all of us by the generations that come before, because fear has been present in the human experience since the dawn of human experience. And so in that way, fear is our God. And in that way, we understand in the improv tub and the tub of joy and the Megachurch of joy that it is better to work on our relationship with fear, to understand our relationship with fear, because once we start to follow the fear off of the sidelines of life, just as Danny is thinking about following the fear off the sidelines of life, we get that much closer to joy. Eventually, perhaps Danny will start speaking to women. He will start building up some confidence, or not. He doesn't necessarily have to do that. Danny, if you're still here, we love you. You do not necessarily have to build up your confidence. You just have to push against the fear that you feel inside your body and use that fear as a tool. When we are afraid, we say, yes, these are my fears and I embrace them. When we are afraid, we take a step towards our fear and we realize that fear is nothing more than a giant dickhead who is telling us not to do the thing, not to speak and live according to our authentic selves, not to use the energy inside of us that is the energy that is our joyful, childlike energy that we were born with and that we suppress over time in the face of fear's patterns for us. So that is another thing that we do. Substack, you are often so quiet. We don't understand why, except for, of course, the people on the West Coast who are bringing their children to school and who cannot get through their day without the manna of the Megachurch of Joy. What do you think is Todd's greatest weapon? Todd's greatest weapon in this world, our God, Todd, the God of fear. For Todd so hated the world that he made sure to fuck us all up and keep everyone from achieving their dreams. Yes, and Todd's greatest weapon is himself. Todd's greatest weapon is fear. Todd's greatest weapon is our inability to know intrinsically that we can have a relationship with our fear. And so that is a roundabout advertisement for the Megachurch of Joy. Todd's greatest weapon is our willingness to indulge him at every step. Todd's greatest weapon, because Todd's greatest weapons only work if we do not have a relationship with him. If we see him and we run, then Todd always wins. Now, Danny, we know that you saw fear today and that you did run, and that's not a shame or that's not a judgment on you in any way whatsoever. We are so grateful that you faced your fear. Big Nick, I cannot believe that you do not know who Todd, the God of fear, is. For Todd so hated the world that he made sure to fuck us all up and keep everyone from achieving their dreams. Yes, Ed, Todd is the God. For Todd, when Todd was a child, eons ago, he was hurt by someone that he thought he could trust. And so he let fear and hatred and inadequacy and doubt and shame grow and fester inside of him until it became so powerful and he lashed out against others that he became a God. And that is who our God is. And so we are going to say the prayer of oppression, and we are going to leave today, and we are going to ask everyone out there, how will you be a fact warrior today? How will you go on the internet? If you are on social media, you had best be sharing fact-based information that aligns with your values at all friggin' times. Okay? Are you kidding my daddy? So you're going to go to Public Enlightenment and you are going to share the articles here. You're going to share these fact-based influencers. You're going to go to Public Enlightenment's Blue Sky and you're going to click on the profile and you're going to look at all this stuff and you're going to share this stuff with other people. You're going to say, hey, get off X. It's a disinformation exploration. Get off of there and go on to Blue Sky and share fact-based information, because our problems in this world are problems of information that are being spread by fear's agents in this world, the scared little boys who own the means of communication and who tune the algorithms to make us hate each other and to divide each other at all times. It is not us versus them. Sorry, it is not you versus me, MAGA. It is us versus them. And so we will end today's program not with a song, but with a prayer, which is a form of song, just without music, but you can do it in a cadence that also has music. So it is kind of like a song, as much as it is also kind of not like a song. Yes, and. So I love you, you love me. We are an intergalactic family. We are healing the nation with an understanding of information. 99% of all of the things we know about the world are told to us by another person, usually someone purporting to be a news person. And so what are our sources of news? What is the quality of our sources of news? How good or bad is your media diet? We want to talk about it every single day. We want you to keep coming back to the program. We want you to get involved, call on the phone, get in the Discord, go to the link tree, follow the links on Substack, find the link tree, and you will find peace, healing, love, and support through the embrace of fear. Yes, and. So we say the prayer of oppression all together. Now we say, Almighty Todd, we come before you partially understanding love and completely knowing fear. We know what is best for us, yet you keep us from dreams we have yet to imagine. We are sure we know what we are to do and how we are to act. Yet you have seen our doubts and you manipulate them, fear. You hate us in ways we have yet to discover. Oh, fear, forgive us for turning away from your hate and your contempt. Forgive us when we try to ignore you, foolishly thinking you'll go away. Open our eyes to your steadfast hurt and your undying isolation. Help us to understand that your hate never ends, your power is never totally expended, yet even so, our support and commitment can heal even you, oh fear. We pray this in the face of doubt. Yes, and you have been watching the Megachurch of Joy, brought to you every Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in America, beaming to you live from Boca Raton, Florida, where it's always 69. We are so grateful to have had you here today. How will you go out and be a fact warrior? If you are on social media, you are part of an information war that is happening and has been waging around you ever since the creation. program, I am going to get a ticket. We looked over some information today about all of the lies, right? The Nazi forefather of Fox News. Okay, what else did we have? How authoritarian regimes use the fire hose of falsehood and why it works. Okay, this is a program that has been working on our minds for decades, for as long as human beings have had the power to communicate with one another. There has been the power to manipulate fellow human beings. So we want to push back on all of that. I'm sorry that I'm burping and therefore gasping so much. We did not get any new followers today. What the hell is the problem with that? What is my problem? Can I figure it out and get people to grow this community? I'm so grateful for all of you who already have. And here's one last reminder that we will be having an event tomorrow in the Discord. If you want to get into the Discord, please reach out to your old pal Deuce. Let's see, this is what is on the screen right now. We are getting that off the screen. Advil sent me a message. Do you have a headshot I could use for a grass milk meme? That is beautiful. I forget who Advil is, but sure, I will give you a headshot. That's incredible. Yes, it's working. People are gonna make memes. Let's go to show people the event. You can get into the Discord. It is called Megachurch of Joy. I don't know if you can just reach out to it and just like ask to join it. I do not even know. Are you kidding my daddy? Here we go. This is what the event looks like. Megachurch of Joy, Rec Room. 2 people are interested now. That's beautiful. So we will be watching together tomorrow night. Starting at 7, we'll start screening the movie at 7:30, exploring how Christian nationalism has become the most powerful anti-democratic force in the USA with an unparalleled ability to destroy democracy from within. Secular and interfaith leaders are joining forces to defend the country, but these people are powerful. Many of them walk the halls of power. Bill Barr, Council for National Policy. Mark Meadows, Council for National Policy. Betsy DeVos, Council for National Policy. Basically, Mike Pompeo, Council for National Policy. Steve Bannon, Council for National Policy. Basically, every single giant dickhead who is trying to harm others and who's living out fear's patterns, we have empathy for them because they need help. They need to get into therapy. They need to take an improv class. They need to take some ego-suppressing compounds that will tell them that everyone is connected in this world. But we are going to screen this movie tomorrow. Please figure out how to get in the Discord, because I'll tell you what, I sure as hell can. I should have more and better information prepared for how to get into the Discord. But please go be a fact warrior every single second of every single day. I love you. You love me. We are an intergalactic family sharing information to save the nation. Okay, that's what we're doing. Please. I love you. Follow the fear, friends. Okay? When we are afraid of something, that is a time to recognize that that is an opportunity to grow our relationship with fear in this world. And so I love you, you love me. Let's all figure it out together. I welcome you back here tomorrow, 9 a.m., bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Someone wants to make a Deuce-themed wonderful to be with you, and we'll just keep doing it. That's it. Did I get any money? Did anyone donate money today? Wow, that would be cool. Let me go check. All right, goodbye, everyone. We're going to